He is blind, can't see at all. Wen Nguyen took a cigarette and walked outside, completely ignoring the strange looks from the others. Jang Keo, half drunk and half awake. I watched helplessly as Wen Nguyen took the pack of cigarettes away. But warmth can also be exhausting. Draw a hammer. It must have been taken by Jaifeng. Zooming kicked him lightly. Wu Wankyu was momentarily stunned. Then he got up as well, walking towards the door. At the entrance of the hallway on the other side, the Minsoon leaned against the wall. Put the cigarette in your mouth. I just remembered the time I went to the convenience store to buy a lighter, interrupted by Zhu Ming's phone call. Patted my pocket. The expression suddenly became a bit awkward. Season. Then he saw the girl with autism walking towards him. Warm hands are clasped behind the back. Then they held onto their feet. Suddenly spun around in front of the Minsoon. The black skirt swirled warmly with the spin. Delicate fingers, a hand blossom unfolded in the face of the Minsoon. Red lips slightly. Convenient. The playing card lighter is hidden in the flower in hand. The roller turns with the shaking hand. Brush. The girl looks like she stepped out of a painting. The flames appear at this moment. The Minsoon is still in a daze. The cigarette at the corner of the mouth has been lit. Well, he felt like himself. You shouldn't say things like thank you. I should say something again. I don't know what to say again. The breezy Minsoon that the artistic youth effortlessly captures. At this moment, there was a hint of embarrassment. You can't just say that. Warmth is great. That kind of foolish talk. Although he truly had this thought in his heart. Hi there. The Minsoon closed its eyes and restrained its emotions for a moment. Not bad. More skilled than last time. Then let me practice more from now on. Warm eyebrows slightly raised. Since you are so sincere. Then I'll reluctantly agree. The two looked at each other. They saw the smiles in each other's eyes. A few classmates passing by. I saw the moment when Warmth lit a cigarette for the Minsoon. My heart must be aching already. Many people secretly criticize. Those who flaunt their love really deserve a punishment. They should be fought and killed. Do killed. Actually, little romantic gestures between couples. It's not that complicated. There's no need for any audience. As long as we stay quietly together, you can already feel happiness. The Minsoon is smoking outside. Wen Nguyen leaned against the railing. The two of them enjoyed the gentle breeze. Mu Wonk's figure stood not far away. Just saw the warm waltz like flames. With her dance skills, it's easy to see. Warmth doesn't dance at all. There is no foundation in dance either. Just now, Wen Nguyen only wanted to spin in front of the Minsoon. I want to be in front of the person I like. Show your best side. Mu Wankyu also had such thoughts. It's just that there hasn't been an opportunity. Wen Nguyen seemed to sense Mu Wankyu's gaze. Smiling, I passed my gaze over. Mu Wonk has also responded with a thumbs up. Looks great. The relationship between the two. It didn't develop like the so-called rival in love. Mu Wonk's emotional intelligence is high. Warmth and high intelligence. Wen Nguyen accepted a part of Mu Wankyu's existence. Mu Wankyu could also handle this relationship smoothly. This is their current way of getting along. I see no space for myself. Mu Wonk's hand waved goodbye. Made one. I'm leaving. Gesture. Warmth also nods gently. Seeing her off. The Minsoon was oblivious to the plight of the two women. Felt a moment of power. She turned around. I heard that there will also be law school and finance next. Some social activities organized by the group. Do you want to participate? Wen Nguyen thought for a moment. Then shake your head. Not interested. Warmth is like this. I'm not good at socializing. First place in eating. AA is having a meal. You can chip in. The social activity ends here. If you're not interested, then let's sneak away. Let's sneak away. Jiving took out his phone, sent a runaway message to the 3 adopted sons. Thought about it. Still haven't sent it to Muwankyu. Instead, he turned to look at Wen Nguyen. Send a text message to let the photographer know. We are leaving first. Bung. Send one to Muwank. Aren't you going to send it? You send. Good. The 2 gave their respective roommates friends. Sent a runaway message. The monsoon brings warmth. Leaving Jianyang restaurant. When I reached the harbor pavilion, the monsoon sees the security guard hasn't changed shifts yet. He proactively offered a cigarette. Thank you. Elder brother. Yo, your girlfriend is so beautiful. It must be beautiful. The elder brother. Go ahead. Ride the little electric donkey. The monsoon brings warmth. Directly returned to school, but did not return to their respective dorms, but chose to run to the school's library. Tomorrow classes will officially begin. The monsoon and warmth are not that kind. People who are ready to slack off for 4 years once they enter university. Let's warm up the course a bit. Understand the class schedule. Arrange time. Handle the upcoming company matters. All of these need to be planned. They have been busy all day today. The stamina battery is a bit cheap. While sitting here to regain strength, expend some brain power. It's quite good. The monsoon was flipping through a book. Thoughts flow freely. Considering the company. After gathering cash flow, what should we do? Pain. Short video. It's still hard technology like that of a flour factory, although the Tao Key side can gather quite a bit of cash flow. But this industry wants to grow. It's basically impossible. Tao Key is Ali Malma's little piglet. Ali Malma is just a cat's piglet. Mao Chang is one of Alibaba's 2 golden cows. In other words, how will the pottery enthusiast play again? There is no future for any of us, especially with the rise of live streaming in 2 years. Waiting for life to slowly take shape. Chicken soup is this kind of thing. Will quickly perish. So, it's still a game. The monsoon has experience from its past life. Games require foresight. Desperate need for gameplay commercial content. Its profit is perceptive. For others in this world, it has an overwhelming advantage. Funding needed for game development, it's definitely not a small amount. But if the Tao Key side takes shape, at 12, 13 years is more than enough to support. However, this does not mean that. Focused on foresight and playability, you can carve out your own path. Because this world has more than just Ollie. There is also a goose farm. What is the essence of the goose farm? Those who understand, understand. The success or failure of many games. It wasn't you who sent it first. You have high quality. If the gameplay is good, it can become popular. In this current era, mastered the goose field of the V2 pipeline. I'm sorry, but I can't assist with that. WeChat can be done without any pressure, relying on copy and paste. Kill most game developers. At 12, 13 years. The phone number hasn't been established yet. A very good internet information channel. The Goose Farm holds 2 major information channels. It is already this time. Demonstrate almost destructive power. QQ direct logging. No QQ. You must have WeChat right. You can also log indirectly with WeChat. Just this one. Its convenience can crush numerous game companies several times. These 2 pipes, even if placed before the monsoon in a past life. They are still sharp tools. It was just that time. Mobile's service provider, it's considered being slow to realize. Gradually establish the mobile phone pipeline. Let be at. One-click login with phone number. Other game companies finally took a breath. Even so, WeChat, QQ is still a magical tool. Lied for many years. It might even keep being persistent. Magic University has many surprises. The strength of the computer science department is also quite formidable. Truly possess the conditions to make a game after finishing it. Goose Farm, what if I copy and paste? Convenience of reuse and advertising bombardment. They will soon be unable to hold on. So, the act of playing games. It's something that really needs careful consideration. In the gaming circle, gameplay does not have the concept of plagiarism. The size of the Goose Farm. It's impossible to cooperate with him. Only knows how to eat him. Find a way to obtain a login service provider agreement. That is the way of survival. Sigh. Big companies are really outrageous. Crushing a small company is a matter of minutes. The monsoon shakes its head, looking at the warmth of someone reading a book, staring intently at a girl's profile. It's actually quite rude. There is a saying in later generations that goes, "A man understands the situation, but if it's warm, then there will be no such concerns." Even if he realizes the monsoon is watching him, he only pretends not to know and lets him see. Then blushed, just like now, stared at by the monsoon for a moment, when Nguyen has lost the will to read. Is there something going on? Huh. It's nothing. You can't see it. Pen. A warm, soft voice. Her cheeks were even redder than before. The monsoon drags its chin. Thought about the confession in the restaurant before. That is, his debt to the warmth he lacks, although many of their actions now, it's already a done deal. Silently in a state of being boyfriend and girlfriend. Even among close friends. The monsoon has also spoken. Wen Nguyen is his girlfriend. But only towards Wen Nguyen himself. He never said it once. They never made any promises either. This warmth is unfair. Every girl loves romance. Every girl needs romance. Warmth. Aha. When Nguyen turned her head to look at him, hiding one's own thoughts. The monsoon seems a bit distracted. Summer vacation events? You missed all your birthdays. Do you want to celebrate a belated birthday? The monsoon remembers the warm birthday. It's August 18th. He checked it on the ID card. That period of time when Nguyen should still be taking care of his mother. There's no way to celebrate a birthday at all. He couldn't find a more suitable time or day. I can only use this somewhat awkward excuse. However, the warm expression seemed somewhat Asian. My birthday hasn't come yet. Monsoon. Isn't it August 18th? I saw your ID last time. That's not allowed. My birthday is on August 18. In the Gregorian calendar, there is no way to determine the date. After all, every year is different. The ID card can only show August 18th. Hearing this, when Nguyen explained it this way, the monsoon eyebrows almost didn't stand up. Quietly opened the phone. September 30th is the Mid-Autumn Festival. October 3rd. It's August 18. This way. Do you need to go back to take care of Auntie during National Day? No need. The National Day holiday is too short. Tickets are also a hassle. My mom can move normally after the surgery. Warmth speaks as it goes on. It just feels off. He looked towards Jifeng. It feels like the monsoon isn't quite right either. The monsoon brings a bit of calm. If you don't go back. National Day. We can brainstorm the plan at the company. Well, it's getting late. I'll take you back. Uh, Evening. The two wandered silently around the campus, each lost in their own thoughts. At first, they kept a distance. The shadow grows longer and longer, walking slower and slower. The dormitory will eventually speak. Go back. Get some rest early. The monsoon gently waves its hand. Wait a moment. The warm season is about to leave. I shouted instinctively, but after shouting out, he forgot what he wanted to say again. The night concealed his ever-reddening face, but it couldn't ease him. The body gradually stiffens. The monsoon turned around, looking at Wen Nguyen's tense demeanor, bent down slightly, gently held him close. The warm body instantly relaxes. The gaze shifted from vacant to gentle. Then also Hut Jaifeng. He nudged the monsoon with his nose again. But before, it was just the back. This time it's the neck. The elegance between the neck and shoulders almost made Jaifeng lose himself. Zio Jaifeng can't hold on any longer. Aye. Go back. Bung. When Nguyen blushed and lowered her head, without turning back, walking towards the dormitory. The monsoon leans against the wall. I want to light a cigarette. But he discovered, when Nguyen seems to have not returned the lighter to him. Stand still and calm down for a moment. The monsoon was heading towards the dormitory. Returning to the dormitory, Jaifeng glanced over. The pile of lighters I bought last time. More than 30. There are still about 20 left. I'm sorry, but I can't assist with that. This group. Why are you using it so quickly? After taking a shower, the monsoon takes one away. Light a cigarette for yourself. 18-year-old body. In the prime of youth, desire is the strongest. The stage where reason is at its weakest. The young boy from this period. It's easy to indulge. Every day indulging in rewarding myself. Even a day. Awarded several times. But it's okay. The monsoon has a mature and wise soul. Die. The phone suddenly lit up. Monsoon took a glance. Do you want to see my legs? Monsoon. 1 minute ago. I just have an impulsive body. The soul is rational and mature. 1 minute later. There are rational men in this world. I don't believe it. Jaifeng is holding a phone. Licked his lips. Take a look. Did not wait long. The warmth across the way. The images should have been prepared long ago. Image. In the picture. It is a pair of unusually long, silky sleeves. The whole leg is straight. Soft and round little calves. Like autumn lotus root. The toe resembles tender lotus roots. The monsoon stared for a long time, even though it's not our first meeting. But this feeling, he suddenly understood. Previous life online. Why do some people shout every day? Tray my mouth. At that time, the reaction of the monsoon was, everything has harmed you with command. But now, it seems that it's not impossible. The warmth on the other side of the screen feels a bit tense. Also a bit shy. He had wanted to do this for a long time. It's just that the previous phone wasn't working. Can't find the right opportunity either. It would be best if the monsoon likes it. If you don't like it, then he thought of another way. This time it's just warmth. Jaifeng has not replied for a long time. The tension in my heart grew stronger. Isn't it pretty? What to input? It takes so long to input. If you don't like it, then I won't post any more in the future. When Nguyen just sent a message. The words of the monsoon have arrived. Like, it seems that this sentence lacks power. The monsoon replied again. Looks good. I really like it. Very much like. Received such a reassuring response. The warmth of sitting cross-legged on the bed. He smiled foolishly. As long as you like it. For warmth. Today's truly a very happy day. But he wanted to be even greedier. Can you say something like what Muwankyu said? The Minsoon in front of the screen has a hint of jealousy. Talking to Muwankyu like that. He usually rejects Muwankyu. Jaifin was momentarily confused. What words? After sending the message, Wen Yuan felt a warmth spread through her, feeling a bit anxious. Isn't this request a bit excessive? Can the Monsoon only speak such words to those who can talk? For example, Muwak, looking at the chat box of the Monsoon. He even started to daydream. I wonder if the Monsoon is angry. Just right. The phone rang. Good night is a very gentle and romantic word, a drowsiness sprinkled with stars, merged with all the beauty in the moonlight. Good night, accompanied by my heartfelt wishes. Together we endure to dream. I don't know either why I want to say good night to you. Perhaps I want your shadow to appear in my dreams. The best is wearing black stockings. Wen Nguyen covered her mouth. That's right, that's right. This is it. Mu Wankyu's favorite little moments of clarity and romance. Actually, he likes it a lot too. What does this last sentence mean? Wen Nguyen hesitated for a moment. Why wear black stockings? 1. Concealment. 2. Sculpting the leg lines. Good outfit. 3. Preventing varicose veins. The three effects of the monsoon. When Nguyen fell into deep thought once again. But wearing black stockings makes your feet smell. Stockings can reduce the intensity of sunlight on the legs. Better than sunscreen. Safer. And the weather gradually became colder. The girl's legs are not cold. The body will automatically store fat in the legs. Wearing black stockings can prevent thick legs. Others have differences in recognizing colors. Black may give a sense of depression. So noticeably thin legs. The warmth of the news leaves me somewhat dazed. It's all scientific reasoning. But wearing black stockings can make your feet smell. The reason for foot odor is bacteria break down the proteins and oils in your sweat. You just need to wear stockings and shoes before each time. Disinfect the shoes and feet with alcohol or by using a spray. Wearing the shoes again can keep them from smelling for at least a day. Warmth. It feels like the monsoon is all about knowledge. Try goods. There's not a bit of personal interest at all. Cut out and search for it. Why do boys like black stockings? The most answer is lewd. When Nguyen fell silent for a moment, look at the second answer. Boys liking black stockings is a sign of high intelligence. Research has found that men who like black stockings generally have higher IQ. The proportion of highly educated individuals exceeds 74%. The higher the education level, the more gentlemen, the better. I saw this. Wen Nguyen nodded in satisfaction. All right. Good night. Put away your phone. The warm blanket lies neatly by the bedside. Quickly fall into a dream. Good night. See you in warmth. The monsoon also lies down here. Close my eyes. The next day. The military training matters have already passed. Everything at the school has returned to normal. Normal class. Learning. Some people are very busy, but some people have already started to let loose. Every time the monsoon comes during the big class, always sitting at the back. So he sees this very clearly. But to want something from these people. Identify some powerful individuals. I'm afraid it will take a while. Monsoon and warmth. Everyone is busy with their own matters. It has been a few days since we were together. Went on a date. At most, I can grab a meal at the cafeteria during noon. These past few days, warmth follows the demands of the monsoon. Recruited an assistant, a secretary with a certain level of HR experience. Her name is Xiao Lan. Every day when there are no classes, Warmth will always follow Xiaolan, learning various kinds of professional knowledge, according to the meaning of the monsoon. The purpose of Wen Nuan recruiting Zhao Lan, it's just to get rid of him. In the process of warm learning, need to hide the table. The hidden table is not a foolish table. It is to allow Zhao Lan to showcase even more, to learn better and faster for Warmth. When Warmth feels, from Zhao Lan, when you can't learn anything, when he was opened up, learning and working go hand in hand. The daily schedule pressure for both of them is considerable. The company's matters are also quite busy. Tomorrow, Saturday, is the 29th. Warmth will take Zhao Lan to the company, conduct a recruitment that has accumulated over several days. The interviewers are mostly university students. There is Magic City University. There are also other universities around. The monsoon has yet to meet Zhao Lan. Just listen to the warm tone. Zhao Lan is this person, somewhat too clever and strict. It feels like it's not easy to get along. The monsoon says it doesn't matter. Anyway, he is at the company now, just a handyman. It was Saturday. Jifen went to the company early in the morning. First, light incense and worship the gods. Then I started doing odd jobs. Although for Ju Ding and them, hired temporary workers to handle the cleaning. However, the company's hygiene conditions, I can only say it's passable. Today we are hiring. The company's hygiene. It's better to keep it as clean as possible. Busy and bustling until noon. The monsoon ordered a rice bowl with toppings. I made a bottle of iced red tea. A yellow shirt is placed nearby. A complete set for a diligent worker. He didn't create a warm office, but it was done beforehand. Where's the small desk I set up for myself? Well, looking at it this way, it feels more like doing odd jobs now. However, the monsoon feels, when the boss is not making decisive decisions, just a helper. This is not a problem at all. Today we are having minced meat with eggplant, the rice bowl of the old business district. I can only say that the oil and salt are perfectly balanced. Pit black, spicy hot, salty. The monsoon makes my scalp tingle a bit. This meal was so spicy. Breathing heavily, unable to stop. Just finished eating, while cleaning the garbage. A man in his early 30s. A woman in a gray business suit walked in. The moment she stepped into the company, the monsoon knows. This person is Zhao Lan. Zhao Lan had on a not too heavy professional outfit. Facial expressions can't clearly convey whether someone is mean or aloof. In an instant, the monsoon unexpectedly began to think, learn from warm and kind people. Will we be led astray by misguided thoughts? As soon as the monsoon saw her, Zhao Lan was also observing the monsoon. Jifen quickly got up. Pretending not to recognize, he asked, "Who are you looking for?" "President Wen is not here this time." Zhao Lan raised her gaze, displayed a professional smile. "Premier Wen did not inform us beforehand. Did you take care of things today? Notice, are you talking about the interview this afternoon?" Before Zhao Lan could respond, the monsoon suddenly poked its head out. He asked the building staff cleaning by the entrance, "Hey, Auntie, don't touch that pile of junk at the door. I'll turn back and ask them, is there anything else you want?" Zhao Lan did not interrupt Jifeng's actions. He walked to the sofa in the president's office. "Then I'll wait here for a while." "Okay, sister." The monsoon has just nodded. Two people walked in at the entrance. A courier, a security guard. Jifen quickly waved to the delivery person. They had express delivery and takeout. Just leave it with me. Then he looked at the security guard beside him. "What's wrong, brother?" third floor atrium. You need to pay the property management fee here. Okay, brother. I'll be right there to submit it." Zhao Lan smiled upon seeing this. In my heart, I've already recognized the identity of the monsoon, made a rough judgment. Administrative, fairly decent professional ethics. He didn't show any signs of writing, but it's almost time. He took a glance at the company's situation. Du Ding and the others are all busy. Throughout the entire office, besides the sound of the keyboard tapping, only occasional whispers. Zhao Lan glanced at their work content. "I can't understand, but it doesn't feel like a joke. It doesn't seem like it." He guessed it was a shell company. Only see the future. This group of young people. He couldn't be bothered with much else. Regarding the sense of belonging to the company. He only has a sense of belonging to money. Contemplating, breast in red, carrying a red leather bag, a slightly sharp warmth, has already come in. Du Ding and the others felt such warmth. Slightly taken aback. Below, Prime Minister Wen. Wen Yuan nodded slightly in response. Then Jingjai walked into her office. Zhao Lan stood up and nodded. "Premier Wen, I'm sorry, but I can't assist with that. Get ready." The monsoon just happened to return at this time. He saw the warmth in the red little suit. Also taken aback. "My girlfriend is really beautiful. That take out the career support chart from the drawer," handing over warmth. Then said seriously, below Prime Minister Wen. Wen Nguyen glanced at Jai Feng. I looked again at Zhao Lan beside me. The clever autistic girl suddenly understood. The monsoon did not reveal its identity to Zhao Lan. He pursed his lips. "Hold back your laughter. Not slowly. Come to the recruitment later, too." The monsoon pointed at itself. Wen Nguyen nodded, glanced at Zhao Lan. Zhao Lan shrugged. "I'm fine." Time quickly reached 1 o'clock. The interviewee we scheduled online has arrived. Because the salary promised by the company is quite good, although the commission system, but if it doesn't reach 8,000. Paid 8,000. This means the guaranteed salary is 8,000. This price is only for the program at Yuangang. Other departments are already very attractive. There are a total of 44 resumes. The appointment is at 1 o'clock, but by 12:45, the first applicant has arrived. Reading faces. He is about 30 years old. The man with the hat. According to our previous agreement, the person conducting the interview is Zhao Lan. Warmth requires learning the recruitment process. Content of the inquiry. Rhythm. Position. Salary budget, etc. These cannot be understood just by researching. He needs to learn. So I stared intently at Zhao Lan. Zhao Lan sat at her desk. "The candidate is across from you." The monsoon kindly poured a glass of water for the two of them. "Thank you." Zhao Lan glanced at the other person's resume. He asked directly, "Lu Quan, 22 years old. Matu University Computer Science Department. What position?" "Programmer." "You wrote about the year-long internship during your senior year. How to write 2 years of work experience." The originally unenergetic monsoon perked up upon hearing. Immediately sat up straight. This person, 22 years old. Good appearance. Lu Quan's eyes were a bit dazed. He first looked around. Then he focused his attention on Zhao Lan. Working overtime. Zhao Lan. Monsoon. Zhao Lan felt that Lu Quan before her, somewhat abnormal. He believes that this person looks like they are 30 years old. The ID card is indeed 22. Is that true? All right. Lu Quan, your major and experience. They all meet our company's requirements. but I still want to know. What specific abilities do you have? Or is there any capability? What special vocational skills? Lu Quan's bewildered gaze gradually calmed. After a moment of contemplation, he slowly reached out, took off his own hat, revealed that she is only 22 years old. There are hardly any hairs left. Does being particularly good at overtime count? Extremely capable of working overtime. The Minsoon beside looked on, almost clapped and cheered. If the Minsoon were a corporate slave. At this moment I can only look at it blankly. Roll the dog, roll the muddy horse. But now, okay, okay, okay. This is truly an excellent quality. If it weren't for Xiaolan being here, he might just stand up and say it directly. Our company really needs capable individuals like you. Wen Nguyen felt the gaze of the Minsoon appreciation. However, he wondered why he appreciated the Minsoon. It's not just the Minsoon. Zhao Lan as the interviewer. She also nodded slightly. He has quite a lot of work experience. Naturally understood. Very good at working overtime. What do these 5 words mean? In the past 5 years and the next 5. In 10 years. Especially good at working overtime. All will be the most outstanding workplace skills. There's no way. Everyone is competing. Mysterious scroll. Without intervention from above, it's no longer possible to opt out of competition if you don't want to. The previous company I worked for was doing well. Why do you want to come to our company? It's not written on your resume either. That company went bankrupt. Xiaolan nodded. The internet company went bankrupt. It is quite common. What are your salary expectations? 20,000, right? The more, the better. The journey of this number is very calm. Very good. Mr. Travel writes, then you go back first. Keep the phone line open. We will get back to you before tomorrow night. Okay. Lu Quan nodded slightly, left the office. After the journey rights have departed, Zhao Lan turned to look at Wen Nguyen. What does Prime Minister Wen think of this person? Pretty good. Zhao Lan was slightly surprised. He originally thought Wen Nguyen might not like this unkempt appearance. Individuals with relatively sparse hair. Generally speaking, this programmer with high-intensity work experience. Internet companies need to pay attention. Although the tech mogul is great, but most people are just ordinary programmers. The programmer who can work overtime. It's better than not being able to work overtime. Warm and calm, he nodded. The Minsoon has said something similar. So, he wasn't really surprised either. Speak quietly. I understand. Zhao Lan raised her eyebrows slightly. He always felt Wen Nguyen, the CEO, is quite strange. There are many things I don't understand. He is indeed a newcomer who has never experienced the workplace. But the indifference on him, alienation, it's also genuine. In theory, if a wealthy second-generation heir runs a company as a hobby, as the boss, usually very lively, very cheerful, likes to argue with others, eager to prove oneself. But these problems, there is not a single warmth on me. He usually asks himself some questions, but silence prevailed. This feeling, Zhao Lan felt a sense of losing control over the situation. Feeling very uncomfortable. Let's move on to the next one. Okay. The first interviewee was quite normal, but the situation that followed, it becomes increasingly abstract. When Nguyen gradually understood why recruitment matters. It also requires a lot of studying. Zhao Lan stared at the short-haired girl in front of her and asked, then you come to our company. What position are you applying for? Accountant. Zhao Lan. Then you come to our company. What can you bring to the company? Bring in an accountant. Liu Ting remained calm. Zhao Lan, I mean to say, what value can you create for the company? Create the value of an accountant. Zhao Lan's mouth was starting to twitch. So I do you? Come to our company for an interview. Your company is hiring an accountant. What abilities do you have? Can handle this position. I'm an accountant and can do math very quickly. 258 multiplied by 12. Then divide by 23 and subtract 15. What does it ultimately equal? Will not. Anyway, we can shield by the end of the month. Zhao Lan. Monsoon. He is a genius. Zhao Lan stood up and shook hands with Liu Ting. Very good. Miss Liu Ting, we are very satisfied with your situation. I will get back to you before tomorrow night. Sending Liu Ting off, the candidates that followed were all quite eccentric. Even worse, even the seasoned veteran of the monsoon shakes his head. Zhao Lan, let's start with a self-introduction. Interviewer A. Is there much on the resume? Zhao Lan. Go out. Zhao Lan. Cheng Yu Yuan Gang. What can you do? Interviewer B. I will co-create the future with the company. Break through to a beautiful new tomorrow. Zhao Lan. Are you willing to work overtime? Interviewer B. Is there overtime pay? Zhao Lan. Aren't you looking to co-create the future? Interviewer B. I can repair computers. Zhao Lan. Go out. Zhao Lan. Do you have any other questions? Interviewer C. Can I join your company? I'm begging you. I am a girl who loves. Zhao Lan. You are even worse than a beast. Go out. Recruitment of 44 interview candidates. Speak quickly, don't dawdle. Speak slowly or quickly. If you come across someone who seems like a good fit. Zhao Lan. Then we can chat a bit longer. If a person can't do it, let's keep it brief. I have to say, Zhao Lan's professional ethics are quite good. Ability speaks for itself. At least be competent enough for them. Such a small company. Absolutely no problem. This interview, it continued until. It ended a little after 5 in the afternoon, after all the interviews were finished. When Nguyen needs to talk with Zhao Lan for a while, organize information regarding this recruitment, overall details. And they also like those people. Not many people. This time's personnel selection will be warm. Let's make the final decision, even if it is the monsoon itself. No one will care about this matter. As the boss, everything managed. Ask about everything. That company, it can't develop either. Warmth. There is a strong potential for growth, ability enhancement, very fast. For those who possess talented individuals with this ability, even if he is not warm, the monsoon will also give him a wrong space. If you make the wrong choice, he just needs to correct it in time. Under normal circumstances, it's better to let him handle it himself. The only choice interfered by the monsoon. It's the first interviewee, Lu Quan. Actually, he doesn't interfere. It doesn't matter. Zhao Lan would probably recommend. Leave this person. Monsoon at this moment. A little boring. My girlfriend is studying. Brothers. Ming Ming is placing an order. You can't always run next door. Let's go play League of Legends. It's only 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Monsoon was contemplating doing some odd jobs. However, hygiene in the morning, already done. Now in the company, it seems there's not much going on. Either go downstairs and prepare some barbecue for them. Let's get it done. Holding the wallet, push the door and go downstairs. Although over here in the Magic City, there have already been many injuries. Started using Alipay for payments. But during this time, mobile payment, it's not yet to the point of replacing cash. At least we chat is out. It won't work before we go head to head. In the second floor cafeteria. Take a stroll. It feels like the things here. The brothers are already tired of eating. So the monsoon stepped outside, riding the little electric donkey, running outside the old commercial district. After crossing two roads, the monsoon found a path. Snack Walking Street? He didn't pick or choose either. I just randomly chose a place, ordered a bunch of barbecue. I bought some more sweet potatoes, things like octopus balls, as he prepared, carrying large and small bags. When I brought back the little shop, walking towards us, the two stopped him in his tracks. Monsoon. Gu Zhuting suddenly covered her mouth. I see someone approaching. The monsoon gently furrows the brows. But in the end he still relaxed the brows. Smiling, they greeted each other. Below, below Antalai. Standing next to Gu Zhuting at this moment, it is his mother, Lai Linky. The monsoon knows. He once had a relationship with old Jai. There was once a story. In the end, I didn't end up with Lao Jai. These high heels, Jai Guo Zai Quen. The upper body is in a white shirt. Hair is styled up. The makeup is very elegant and dignified, looking at the condition of the skin and body. Lai Linky understands meetings better than her mother. With warm mother Wand Yakin, everyone wants to be young. Their age. Actually, it's about the same. Uncle Gu must really love her. Moreover, she also pays great attention to her maintenance. But time, it is just time. Time won't miss anyone. She has actually grown old too. Xiao Fen, have you been busy with your studies lately? It feels like during the time of the college entrance examination. I haven't seen you around much. You haven't come home either. Looking for Zhuting. I worry that you are busy with your studies. I don't even dare to ask. But it's okay. You got into a school. This is truly a wonderful fate. Lai Linky's voice, very gentle. It's just like in a TV drama, like a warm-hearted aunt, truly deserving of the title. Can let the old chicken die of old age. The woman that Dong Xin has been thinking about for so long. In the monsoon, in those once sealed memories, Lai Linky is really great. Unconditional goodness. Every time she is hurt by Gu Zhuting. If Lai Linky finds out, Lai Linky would always comfort her. When going to school, go to Gu Zhuting's house to play. Lai Linky always warmly welcomed her. Make her a lot of delicious food. Sometimes I would chat with her. Heart-to-heart talk. Guide her. Even if I know. At that time, I gradually became troubled. Like Gu Zhuting, Lai Linky also did not raise any objections. Every time I urge her to do good, the monsoon of the past did not understand. I don't understand Lai Linky. Why be good to her? But now, she has figured out a lot of things. The monsoon still remembers. Junior high school period. At that time, I was studying by myself. Still very good. Gu Zhuting was the one who once pursued. Gu Zhuting had a period of time, declining grades, called to the parents. Lai Linky was called to school by the homeroom teacher. Monsoon and Gu Zhuting Elementary School just met. But it was her first time meeting Lai Linky. At that time, the homeroom teacher let Gu Zhuting be unable to do it. You can ask yourself more questions. Lai Linky happened to turn her head and saw her. Her gaze, from the initial shock, unbelievable, the longing that follows, memory, back to calmness, letting go. In the end, it became full of deep meaning. A slight smile, that fleeting glance. The monsoon of that time cannot understand at all. Later I walked out of the office. Under Gu Zhu Ting's unconvinced gaze, Lai Linky asked her a question. A low classmate. What is your name? My name is Jiefeng. Seasonal season. The wind of might. After she said her name, Lai Linky had been silent for a long time. Jiu Dao Jiefeng and Gu Zhu Ting. Everyone feels it's strange. Until the end, she smiled brightly. No wonder they have the appearance of an old friend. It turns out to be the son of an old friend. Once upon a time, the monsoon does not understand. Why did Lai Linky say this? Why are you so good to her? It turns out the answer has long been hidden in her words. Why time with you? Silent tears flow like 1,000 lines. Because she is the child of an old friend. The monsoon can ignore Gu Zhuting's cold face. But for Lai Linky, in terms of both emotion and reason, everyone should maintain politeness and respect, because she became the delinquent after the monsoon. Besides parents, the only person who would never look down on or belittle her. Academically, it's really quite busy. Is Aunt Lai in good health? You seem to be in great spirits. Becoming younger and younger, hearing the monsoon boast about its youth, Lai Linky was still very happy. But she, the delicacy of being a woman, still sensed something was off. Since the monsoon, from the moment they met until now, hasn't even glanced at his own daughter. This isn't normal. It should be placed in the past. Monsoon's gaze. It will surely linger on my daughter. It simply won't open. Auntie's gaze allows no pretense. Always passionate. Impulse. Against all odds, Lai Linky loved once when she was young. Even loved deeply. So she is very clear. The gaze of the monsoon from the past. But now, that kind of gaze is gone. The remaining, only a faint sense of estrangement and distance. Lai Linky squinted. Immediately realized, monsoon and his daughter, there may have been a problem. Xiao Feng, are you free right now? Long time no see. Either way, let's have a meal together. Lai Linky's thoughts were very simple. There are issues between the monsoon and the daughter. Just find a way to solve this problem quickly. Emotional matters. No procrastinating. Many originally beautiful fates. It's precisely because of procrastination, not explained clearly. In the end, we just dispersed. She has experienced. Very clear. It's quite normal to love someone but not be able to have them. If it can be resolved on the spot, that is naturally the best outcome. If it doesn't work, the monsoon stood in place, rubbing the sour plum. Then he lifted the bag in his hand, waved in front of Lai Linky. I don't think it's going to work, Auntie. Look, I even brought lunch for my colleagues. If I don't go back now, they estimate they will starve to death in the company. Lai Linky's brows were slightly furrowed. This kind of rejection. It was almost impossible in the past. Monsoon, it seems to have changed. It's okay if you don't have time. Do you still want a part-time job? It's considered a part-time job. After all, my main occupation is still a student. As Lai Linky pondered what I am about to say next, the monsoon seems to know. She wanted to say something. Speak up first. Aunt Lai, I do have something to do today. I'm really sorry. Tomorrow is the Mid-Autumn Festival again. The day after tomorrow is the 11th. Like this, the day after tomorrow. It was the evening of October 2nd. I'll treat you to a meal then. Can you see it? The monsoon sensed that Lai Linky wanted to invite for a meal. Aunt Lai's invitation She simply couldn't refuse. Rather than let her speak, it's better to take the initiative yourself. This way, the time can still be adjusted by oneself. Lai Linky slowly nodded. All right. We will get in touch again on October 2nd. It's been such a long time since we last met. It feels like Xiao Feng has grown up overnight. He has become much more handsome. Aunt Lai is such a great complimenter. You too. Always so young and beautiful. This child. Auntie, I'm leaving now. Then, go ahead. The small talk didn't last long. The monsoon carried its belongings. Left without looking back, Lan Linky watched as Jaifin walked away, turned to look at his daughter. The entire conversation between her and the monsoon. Jaifin didn't even glance at his daughter. She also never mentioned her daughter's name. This is no longer just a simple conflict, but rather ignore. This situation was somewhat unexpected for her. Su Ting, being watched by my mother. Gu Zuting's expression was very unpleasant. Oh, can we go back and talk? Lai Linky took a deep breath, finally nodded. The two returned to Lai Linky's hotel. As soon as I entered the door, Gu Zuting burst into tears. Ah, the monsoon no longer wants me. Wah, wah, wah. Lai Linky heard her daughter say this. Suddenly, I felt a darkness enveloping my vision. But a daughter is ultimately one's own flesh and blood. We need to clarify things. Perhaps there is still a chance for redemption. At this moment, she, as a mother, you must stay calm. Zhu Ting, please calm down first. Let's talk about it first. When did you and the monsoon start having problems? In high school, before the 100-day poetry festival. In high school, several months ago. Lai Linky's eyes grew darker. His own daughter has been dragging this issue for several months. She confessed her feelings to me at that time. I said I don't want to be in a relationship. And then what? Speak up. Then I announced my relationship with Yan Hanhao. Then she got angry. Lai Linky, announcing the relationship. Yan Hanhao. Ah, I found the monsoon really annoying at that time. At that time, the Yan Hong was just chasing after me. So just. Lai Linky forcefully covered her forehead. I can't imagine. What ridiculous things has my daughter done? Decades of silence like water in martial arts. Almost broke the house at this moment. Su Ting, Mom might really be wrong. I used to spoil you too much. You took Xiao Feng's kindness for granted. But in this world, there's nothing going on. It is only natural. Anything. There are always sunk costs. Xiao Feng is very nice. He did it for you. I don't care about those at all. But you deceived him. Trampled. His feelings for you. Even love. He ignores you. It's because his heart has grown cold. Never give up because of novelty. The one who has always been by your side. Because anyone who spends a long time together, the city will lose its freshness. Gu Zuting saw Lai Lingkai say this. Suddenly felt a bit flustered. Hastily explained, "Oh, Mom, the monsoon was very angry at that time. But later we clearly reconciled. He has turned back into the way he was before. But then the incident with Wen Yuan happened. Then the monsoon suddenly ignored me. Warmth. Lai Linky as a mother. Naturally, I will pay attention to my daughter's studies." Gu Zuting performed excellently in high school, achieving first place in the exam year. That happens all the time. During the senior year of high school, daughter has been through a period, always be the first, until a girl named Wen Yuan appeared. The first time between her and Gu Zuting, just 2 points away. But the second time it emerged. when Nguyen has completely distanced herself from others. This is no longer just a top student, but a learning god. Warmth. Again, in this matter, what kind of role do they play between that warmth and the gentle breeze? What is the situation? Ah, the monsoon and warmth seem to be together. He doesn't want me anymore. Really don't want it anymore. Boo. Lai Linky felt somewhat troubled by Gu Zuting's tears. In the past few years, how indifferent it is. Crying in the present, it was quite a mess. Seeing my daughter cry like this, Lai Linky also felt heartbroken. She could see that her daughter really cared. I also really like the monsoon. But what does that matter? Jaifeng has a new girlfriend. A late confession of love is worth less than grass. Once missed, it's really impossible to go back. Once a person has a barrier, can no longer step inside. Su Ting, you are at fault in this matter. You didn't understand those moments of hers. She has never blamed you. You can never grow up, but she can't be without a sense of security forever. Moreover, you have still deceived and harmed the monsoon. That's right. Deception and harm can be forgiven, but forgiveness is something. It's never just one time. Every time I think of it, just forgive it once. Gu Zuting covered her face. Tears continuously flowed through the gaps between my fingers. This is gradually being done by the mother. Make your own foolishness. The feeling of clarity. It's truly tormenting. She foolishly lost the monsoon. Ah, what should I do? She said she wasn't that generous. She doesn't even want to be friends with me anymore. Don't cry anymore. Crying is useless. I can understand Xiao Feng's approach as well. You really hurt her deeply. If you are willing to let it be, may we each be well. It's not necessarily a bad thing. As time goes by, Xiao Feng's anger subsided. Perhaps you can still become friends. Lai Linky has made it very clear, very tactful. Qi Guzu Ting simply couldn't hold it in. I don't want to be friends. It was only after she left that I realized myself how much I like her. Bah, please help me. From Xiao Feng's current attitude, she no longer has feelings for you, only indifference and neglect. In this situation, you must not bother her again. That will only have the opposite effect. Strive to improve yourself. Maybe there's still a chance. Gu Zuting was a bit lost in thought. Strive to improve oneself. Is it related to the monsoon recovery? Lai Linky was feeling a bit overwhelmed. She never expected her daughter to be so foolish. Strive to improve yourself. Let yourself be with the monsoon, standing in a matching position. Make her feel. Sigh. Now, Gu Zuting, it seems different from before. In that case, you will have it. Let her re-evaluate. Your opportunity. It is the only opportunity. In fact, Lai Linky had some words left unspoken. Can we really go back? It's very likely that we can't go back. She told Gu Zuting like this. Just don't want my daughter to. Because of emotional reasons. Just giving up on myself. It's always right to try a little harder, even without the monsoon. I became a better version of myself through hard work. That's not such a bad outcome. If you bloom brightly, the butterfly arrives on its own. If you are brilliant, heaven arranges everything. Hearing the method proposed by my mother, Gu Zuting trembled as she put her hands down. Just do your best. Matching the monsoon, although I'm not sure either. But this is indeed a method. The specific situation is still uncertain. The day after tomorrow, Da Haoshen will have dinner with the monsoon. I'll observe her attitude for a while. Ah, thank you, silly daughter. You are already 18 years old. I have also come of age. The world of adults. It's no longer just playing house. Every adult, everyone must take responsibility for their actions. Ah, Lai Linky shook her head, interrupted the daughter's cries. Mom hasn't finished speaking yet. Wrong is wrong. Zhu Ting, once things become truly irreparable, you must learn to let go in time. Don't look back. Forever. Remember is forever. Never regret that path. The path you didn't choose for yourself. Memory beautifies that road, in harmony with the beautified imagination, deceiving the real you together. Do you understand? These words were spoken by Lai Linky. It's getting a bit serious. Gu Zhuting looked at her mother's eyes. Finally they nodded. Got it. Lai Linky let out a quiet sigh. He got up and walked to the window of the room. He sighed again. Unrequited love. Longing that remains unresolved. People are not as good as new things. Things are not as good as they used to be. You and I are not as good as stone. All things come and go helplessly. See through the matters within the situation. How could it be that I am already part of this game? Matters of the heart. It's not that simple. If she could see so clearly back then, she wouldn't have gotten separated from Jai Guangsun. So, just as Jai Guangsun said, words of experience. It's all nonsense, really. Then soon rides a little electric scooter. Returned to the old commercial district. The barbecue snacks brought back. After stuffing it all into the brother's hands, this is when he headed to the office. Zhao Lan has already finished work. When Nguyen is working with the lights on, Zhao Lan wrote some notes. She herself also remembered part of it. These things are a bit chaotic. She also needs time to digest, especially when it comes to recruitment and selection. When Nguyen discovered a very important point, that is, Zhao Lan as a professional woman. Surprisingly, there is even greater hostility towards girls. Girls have high expectations. Boys' standards will actually be relaxed. Between the two, cannot even achieve equal treatment. This left her somewhat confused. Block, block, block. The knock on the door interrupted the warm thoughts. Jiefeng entered carrying some snacks and barbecue, no matter how busy. Sorry, I can't assist with that. A bit. Is there a problem? Yes. Eat first. Ask again. Okay. Today is warm and breezy. It's rare not to go out and eat with Ju Ding and the others, but enjoyed a little two-person world in the office. It's not just because. Want to enjoy time for two. More importantly, when Nguyen has many questions to ask Jiefeng. Why did Zhao Lan choose the candidates? Tends to favor males. Because a woman can only be used as one person. So unpopular. When Nguyen was slightly taken aback. A woman alone. Is there anything wrong with this? Where is the man? In the workplace. They are called Niuma Niuma. Yes. It's just cattle and horses. When Nguyen felt warmth upon hearing this title, the expression was somewhat strange. But when he saw Jiefeng's determined gaze, didn't continue to argue. Just curious. Why would you say that? In this current era, netizens don't say simple-mindedness. At least the information bombardment hasn't become that intense yet. The terms Niu Ma cattle and horses and Shichu corporate livestock, although it has already appeared in the workplace circle, it has not yet entered the ordinary person's view. It is the literal meaning. The term Niu Ma literally cow and horse. Actually, it didn't first appear in the workplace, but rather in the public service system, or within the state-owned system, because their benefits are too good. So some things, it will become somewhat abstract. An office for 10 people, 2 leaders, 7 days off, just a man working, right? For no reason. Reality is like this, as this situation gradually increased. In the public service system, there is a widely circulated saying, "A woman is best used by a man. Men can be used like cattle and horses." This is the initial reason for the workplace bias towards men. Warmth Chen Yin for a moment. Try to understand. Workplace issues. He is indeed Zhao Bai. During this time with Zhao Lan, I have already learned a lot, but he felt that Zhao Lan was a bit too utilitarian in her approach. The Monsoon also values interests, but also pay attention to people. Wherever it makes the employees happy, he tries his best to make the employees feel completely satisfied. As long as it doesn't go outside, you can listen to songs freely. After work, you can freely play games on the company computer, although the company's computer configuration is quite average. Then I often buy a bunch of snacks and drinks. Occasionally treat the brothers to a meal, almost smiling at everyone. Of course, the bad guy is here to do it. Wen Nguyen also once asked, "Why is the monsoon like this?" The answer of the monsoon is also very simple. In fact, snacks and drinks, it won't cost much at all. Playing games after work, it won't delay going to work. Let the brothers feel at ease. They wouldn't throw a tantrum with the clients, especially after work, leaving behind the act of playing games. The monsoon is actually wholeheartedly in favor, but enhances company relationships. It's all nonsense. The reality is, after work, if people return home, then he was completely unrelated to work. But as long as people stay in the company, then his QQ. WeChat is just for hanging out. I'm sorry, but I can't assist with that. WeChat hang up. Every time the game is selecting characters, it's idle. At the moment of death, they will all respond to the customers. This is the order being placed. This is business. After work, the brothers play games. Can earn some money. They won't refuse either. It really gets busy. Hang up for a minute. Let the other brothers say a few words and be done with it. Various practices of the monsoon. It's actually just to stabilize the team. At present, the team is equivalent to the company's money. Clearly, compared to the way Zhao Lan does it, the impact of monsoons on the company's operations. It's also more reasonable. Clarify your thoughts. Wen Nguyen looked at Jai Feng. So will we only hire male employees in the future? Hearing such a warm proposal, the monsoon gently shook its head. Of course not. The pairing of men and women is still necessary. Many girls also possess outstanding work skills. They do their work just as well as the boys. Moreover, in terms of detail, girls have inherent advantages over boys. This point in datafication. This is also most evident in talent and speed. Moreover, men need women. Warm eyes sparkled gently. Do you really need it? Understood. The company has just started. There are many things that need to be dealt with. Warmth while learning the workplace rules. Still need to process the skipping class data. Coordination. Product selection. So, when the monsoon releases its grit, we'll help her handle some things regarding skipping class. In fact, in this state, Wen Nguyen is quite hard. However, she is also happy about it. She hardly has any leisure activities. The matter of work, for her, I am naturally very happy, according to the way of warming oneself. She can see her own growth and progress, can feel the need to be needed by others, being respected. This is an incredibly wonderful feeling. Moreover, together with the monsoon, how could I be tired? Just like that, the two of them were busy until after 10 o'clock, Doubting and the others, still playing games. The work and study here in Wenun have come to an end. Instead, the tasks in Feng's hands have not been completed. She is writing one, a proposal regarding traffic fragmentation, when Nguyen sat on the side, resting her chin on her hand. Work efficiency is very high. The mental state is also very relaxed, not at all as focused and tense as when working in warmth. Even during the planning phase, there's still time to chat with warmth. What are you watching? Why are you so amazing? Because I am the monsoon. That's true. When Nguyen smiled warmly, I got up to pour a glass of water for Jaifin, then sat aside and continued watching her, being watched by her. The monsoon is barely holding on. This is how you see it. I can't work anymore. Why? Because when you look at me, I want to see you too. When Nguyen quietly turned her head away, smiling as I look out the window, Jaifin glanced at the smile on the girl's face. No intention to stop. Continued to be busy. The love between children and parents is indeed beautiful. But work cannot be neglected. Until after 11 o'clock. The monsoon has just finished writing the proposal, stretched lazily, shut down the computer. All right, let's go downstairs for a stroll. Late night snacks. Good. When Nguyen happily agreed. Tomorrow is the National Day. But neither of them experienced anything related to their hometown, at least on the surface. Both of them said, "During the November holiday, I was just working overtime at the company, handling recruitment and startup matters. This is not." On the first day, they were busy until this time. The two seemed to overlook where to stay. But this is also a very important matter. It's already 11 o'clock. There definitely isn't enough time to go back to school. So where do you live? Still no one has mentioned it. The monsoon didn't make a sound. Warmth. There was no intention to ask. It seems they are not worried at all about this issue. Compared to where to live, they feel, this time eating something is more important. Let's go to the second floor. At this point in time, it's running far away. That's unreasonable. Good. The monsoon carries warmth. Feel the soft touch transmitted from the fingertips. Wandered up to the second floor. Jaifin bought some beer at the convenience store. Beverage. Went next door to buy squid. When Nguyen then went to buy durian pastries. And the sweet treats that I love to eat. Went around in circles. Reunion. When Nguyen raised the durian pastry for Jai Feng to taste. The monsoon brings a warm string of squid. This carefree wandering without worrying about each other's distance is very pleasant, especially when we meet again. Are we eating here? Not here anymore. It's a bit chilly. Let's go upstairs. Late September, a night in early October. It is no longer as hot as before. There was even a hint of coolness. Arrived at the apartment area on the fourth floor, when Nguyen stood in the corridor lost in thought. He knows. The monsoon rented several apartments here. As the boss, he will definitely be fine alone in a room. He even knows. These houses all belong to Mu Wankyu. That's right. It's not from the Mu Wank's family. This is the house of Mu Wank. The rising housing prices. The more you start a business, or warmth, the more one can feel. How outrageous is this? Even a girl like Lion Mu Wan Kiu. Everyone loves the monsoon. It's still the openly bold Dan Jiangxi. It is easy to imagine. How great is the warmth of pressure? She has nothing. I don't want to rely on dependency and favoritism anymore. Become a vase. So, she needs to work harder. Must work harder too. Strive to become someone needed by the monsoon. Become a true Wenzu. What are you thinking about? Not. It's nothing. The monsoon does not know. When warmth arrived here, it has already been experienced. A small spark of inspiration for the people's hearts. He still thought. Warmth. It is a battle between heaven and humanity. Thinking about tonight. Is it true? I want to live here. So standing at the door of 409. The monsoon began to explain itself. This is room 409. You can sleep here tonight. I'll go next door to tease Ding later. Don't worry. When Nguyen was taken aback. He wasn't worried. But his personality let him take the initiative to keep the monsoon. That is something that is almost impossible to happen. Opened the door to room 409. The monsoon turned on the apartment lights. Come in. When Nguyen is here for the first time. Entered the house. He looked around. The apartment is just normally decorated. There's nothing fancy here. The monsoon room is also very clean. He lives very little. Second is, every time the housekeeper comes to clean. I will also clean up here. He knows too little about boys. I have hardly interacted with other male friends. Cognition mainly relies on the internet. So first, I looked at the trash can. The trash can is very clean. There aren't many paper balls in the room either. The monsoon seems to have no particular preferences. For example, those things that Wen Nguyen found online. Anna, I like Facey. Not a particularly special quirk. This is a normal preference. While thinking about it, a warm face has turned a bit red. The monsoon knows not the warmth of little brains. I've thought about so much already. He placed the food and drinks on the table. Bayan greeted Wen Nguyen to sit down. Hurry up and eat. It's not tasty when it's cold. Wen Nguyen is about to eat. Suddenly pointed at the beer brought back by the monsoon. Today there is no one else. Not outside either. Can I? Hearing his timid voice. The monsoon revealed a hint of helplessness and indulgence at the corner of its mouth. Open a can of beer. Placed before warmth. Just one can, please. When Nguyen picked up the beer in front of him and was about to drink, but the monsoon made him stop. Sigh. Wait a moment. Lift it up first. Is that so? The monsoon nodded slightly, guiding warmth to raise the beer. Then I bumped into it myself. This way. Cheers. Cheers. Drink the beer. Warm eyebrows. Once again it was pulled up. This thing really doesn't taste good. The taste is bitter, but it's quite refreshing. So comfortable. When Nguyen drinks alcohol for the first time, alcohol tolerance is completely unclear. When he finished drinking a can, her face was already flushed. It feels a bit hot. This drinking capacity. It seems to be even less than a wooden bowl in autumn. After a hearty meal and drinks, Jathan pointed to the bathroom. All right. I'll clean up the things. The bathroom is over there. There are new toiletries in the bathroom cabinet. I'll get you a set of my clothes to make do. When pajamas, we'll switch back tomorrow. When Nguyen looked up at the monsoon. Now, clenching his fists, he walked towards the bathroom. At first, while brushing my teeth, the monsoon has calmed down a bit. But then the sound of clothes being taken off reached my ears. The monsoon suddenly lost its grip. Closing my eyes, I recited it twice to calm down. Finished cleaning the house. Take out the trash. The monsoon has returned to 409. The speed of a girl taking a shower. It basically depends on whether she needs to wash her hair today. The sound of rain continues to pour down. It seems that tonight, when Nguyen needs to wash her hair, The sound of water continued for a long time. This period is significant for the monsoon. There is a bit of torment. Especially the sound of rainwater surrounds the ears. Always makes her imagine some scenes. Unshakable. Repeated several times. The monsoon can only float on the balcony, smoking a cigarette. I want Yi Feng to blow away my drunkenness and emotions. Until she heard the bathroom door being opened. She instinctively turned to look back. That glance. Pupil earthquake. Warmth stood there straight and tall. She usually goes without makeup. After taking a shower, even more fair and radiant than before. Like a lotus blossom. Slightly disheartened hair. Casually resting on the shoulder. Exquisite little feet. The plastic flip-flops are being molded in the monsoon. After stepping on it, the slowly moving body. The oversized round neck T-shirt hangs on me, exposing a large area of fair chest. And the deadly collarbone curve. Long and straight legs, directly exposed to the outside. This pair of jade legs, until the very bottom of the T-shirt. It's hard to resist the urge to lift up the clothes. Ying water vapors. It seems to surround the warm body. That slight sense of nearsightedness. People see the oil lotus. This visual effect, to the fragile heart of the monsoon, brought a fierce impact. Up, the monsoon covered its own nose. Although I really want to be a virtuous witness. But at this moment, the eyes never opened at all. But even a gentleman must be on guard. Warmth. Can you put on your pants? I remember bringing it to you. Spoken by the monsoon. When Nguyen suddenly felt a bit at a loss. He stepped into slippers that were much larger than his own fair feet. Turning around, I dashed back to the bathroom. Took out the monsoon pants. Then, in front of his own legs, made a small gesture. I just tried it. But your pants are too big. I will fall off if I put it on. The pants will fall down. Okay, okay, okay. The monsoon suddenly realized something was wrong. He first got up to draw the curtains, prevent warmth from escaping, then closed his eyes and rubbed between his brows. The expression became increasingly difficult to maintain. Turning back, I sat on the sofa, hiding one's embarrassment. A long time, when he looks towards warmth. He just stood there looking aggrieved, at a loss, when Nguyen could sense that the monsoon's mood was somewhat off. But he doesn't know. The monsoon sat there. What is the matter with being still? Raise your eyebrows. Gave the monsoon a glance. Worries flow through the belief as gently as water. So he took 2 steps closer. Monsoon, what's wrong with you? Don't come over here. Let me calm down for a moment. There are pants in the drawer over there. The type of 4-corner pants with elastic should work. You give it a try. The monsoon rejected the warmth's approach and pointed out a clear path for him. Of course, this is also guiding him on the right path. Sitting on the sofa. At this moment, the monsoon feels a bit shy. It shouldn't be like this. Speaking reasonably. He shouldn't be so useless. This is different from what I imagined. After going through so much, it really shouldn't be so impulsive. The monsoon let out a slight sigh, feeling regretful about my lack of success. Reappearing in my mind, just now, it was like a comic character, walking into a scene that feels like reality. Speaking of which, the warmth from earlier. The corner of the monsoon's mouth begins to rise. When pure love appears, lust begins to wane. Just then, when Nguyen has already found a path suitable for the monsoon, wearing slightly tighter boxers. It's still very big, but it won't fall off. He dragged his slippers on the floor, returned to the face of the monsoon. Are you feeling better? Hearing Warmth softly and tenderly ask myself, the Monsoon suddenly felt a bit guilty. Did he really think he wasn't feeling well? Um, it's nothing. Are you going to take a shower now? Sure. The Monsoon originally wanted to go to Ding and their house to wash. I just want to avoid it. However, after a series of emotional fluctuations just now, at this moment, the Monsoon had become much calmer. Take the spare clothes. The Monsoon dragged its own coat, walking into the bathroom. The fragrance and humidity still linger in the bathroom, eliciting fantasies. The Monsoon entered the bathroom. When Nguyen stood up, walked to the water dispenser, poured myself a glass of water. The paper cup is at the edge of my lips. He inexplicably leaned against the wall. Thoughts begin to spiral out of control, eyes shining faintly like peach blossoms. Then squinted slightly. Finally, it curved like a crescent moon. In that smile, a little bit of happiness. There is also a bit of cunning. As I pondered, Warmth felt like a trance. Boys take a quick shower. The Monsoon has finished washing up. Cover your head with a towel. Wearing those warm, well-worn square pants. She both stepped out. These pants are warm. I just wore them. Wearing a pair of pants. He stood at the hallway in front of the bathroom door, getting ready to dress up. I just didn't expect it. When Nguyen surprisingly wasn't sitting on the bed or the sofa, but standing across the aisle drinking water. At this moment, I just stared at him earnestly. The muscle definition from long-term training is very obvious. Just age alone is not enough. Growth of muscles and body shape. I need some time. At the age of 18. Even if you eat a lot, the exercise intensity is sufficient. Still relatively weak. Even so, Warmth also left him in a daze. His fair face quickly turned red, staring into the eyes of the Monsoon. But there was no intention to open. The Monsoon also sensed his abnormality, suddenly felt a bit awkward, quickly put on the clothes. It's not necessary to show off your figure in front of Warmth, men preening and posing. It's really greasy. From the nearby cabinet, take out the hairdryer. Jaifink looked at the hairdryer in his hand, after pondering for a moment, then looked at Wenwen. Do you want me to help you dry your hair? When Nguyen was taken aback for a moment, Ming Ming nodded a few times. Okay. A boy helping a girl dry her hair. It is a very intimate act. If it's a big pig's trotter, even if they are boyfriend and girlfriend. I won't help with this matter either. It was impossible for the Monsoon to dry a woman's hair before. But Warmth is impossible. Let others blow dry her hair. So, both felt something was off. When Nguyen sat cross-legged on the edge of the bed, back against the Monsoon. The Monsoon is like turning on the power, standing behind her. As the Monsoon gently slipped its fingers into her pindut hair, she suddenly felt a sense of achievement unlocking. Inserting fingers into warm hair. How long ago was this? The Monsoon is about to do what it wants. Rooftop persuasion in high school? Ah, right. Even earlier than that. It is at the construction site. The first time he broke her hair tie, or black hair, when scattered before one's eyes, that was the moment she arrived in this world. The pressure of the young girl's presence was almost tangible. Perhaps she was like that at that time. I'm already falling for you. It's just that I haven't admitted it for a long time. Love at first sight. This term used to refer to a fart in the past monsoon season. Love at first sight. Isn't it just a rebellion driven by desire? She seems to believe a little bit again. Love at first sight. A sudden surprise at first sight. Long time, sudden heartbeat. Double standard dogs are like this. for someone like her. What are you thinking? The warmth in front suddenly spoke up. It seems the monsoon has not moved for a long time. She felt a hint of something unusual. The corner of the monsoon's mouth subtly rises, gently stroking warm and slightly damp hair. It's nothing. It may take some time. You play on your phone for a while. Hoo hoo hoo. The hairdryer is turned on. The hot wind and noise are still quite loud. When the warm breeze brushes past the fingertips and hairline, the monsoon and warmth at this time, they both silently agreed not to speak any more. The monsoon is somewhat clumsy. She twisted a strand of hair, then dried it with warm air. The reason for being clumsy. It's because the monsoon has never done this before. But she is very smart. Quickly found some techniques. Fingers tangled in hair. Slowly wrote down. If you encounter a knotty place, first try spreading your fingers. Let's see if we can untie the knot. If it doesn't work, then use your fingers to tear it apart. Her hair became increasingly smooth, touched in the hand. That texture is as smooth as silk. Let the monsoon be a bit intoxicating. She couldn't help but lower her head. I took a sniff at the warm top. Besides the scent of the shampoo, the monsoon once again caught the scent that made her heart flutter. The sweet, milky fragrance. An indescribable feeling. All right. Aha. In fact, warm earlobes. It had already turned red at the moment the monsoon bowed its head. She guessed that the monsoon was sniffing her, so there was no sound. I didn't hide either. She likes this feeling. After blow-drying my hair, the monsoon has finally risen. Oh my heavens! It's already midnight. I'm going next door. You should go to bed early. If there's something going on, give me information. Or just call directly. I heard the monsoon is leaving. When Nguyen suddenly felt a bit conflicted. She doesn't want the monsoon to leave. I don't want to at all. But I also feel that. Can't speak up. Monsoon. What happened? Shall we chat a bit longer? This is already warmth that can be spoken. Maximally retained. Say this sentence. It has made her feel a bit unable to lift her head. Ki Jaifeng seemed to completely not understand, slightly shaking her head. Do you want to hear what you're saying? It's already past 12. Hurry up and rest. When Nguyen lowered her head, silently without speaking, is the monsoon unaware of warm thoughts? She certainly understands. She understands too well. But she also understands respect, or say cautiously, she respects warmth, respect for the warmth of her affection, also respect her own first love. A boy meets someone he truly likes. The first reaction is self-doubt. No matter how powerful this person is, everyone feels insecure. That kind of love will create a deep surprise for each other, to the point where I wonder if I still don't deserve it. She seemed to have never fallen in love with anyone before. So, a personality that is decisive and efficient, in some aspects, also became cautious. If love is the downfall of free will, that monsoon is a rational person. So we need to restrain this descent. Turned around, ready to leave. The monsoon suddenly felt. My palm is entangled in a delicate embrace. She knows. Those are warm fingers. Stay with me. All right. When this voice appears by my ear, iron will, it has collapsed suddenly amidst the gathering, transform into gentle tenderness. She felt helpless, letting go. A smile filled with deep meaning. I don't know if it's a joke. Self-proclaimed as having an unwavering iron will, I still feel, originally, the psychological groundwork that had been laid for a long time. The sudden collapse is quite laughable. Love is the downfall of free will. Yes, when it appears, you can't resist at all. Okay, the monsoon agreed without much trouble, although she didn't see the warmth, yet able to guess the smile on her face at that moment, because she is also laughing. Can't chat anymore. Hurry up and go to sleep. Okay, I sleep on the sofa. You sleep in bed. Ah, what? Sorry, I can't assist with that. It's nothing. Wen Nguyen seems very obedient. Perhaps it was hard won for the monsoon to compromise and stay. So she no longer tried to force a conversation or anything like that. Jaifeng said he wants to sleep on the sofa. She didn't speak up to object either. Just disappointment in the tone. Cannot hide completely. She tried to break free from the warmth. Wen Nguyen just pouted, looking down. Then he stared at her with a knife-like gaze. The monsoon made him feel a bit uneasy. She pointed to the light switch. Turn off the lights before sleeping. But Wen Nguyen finally let go. Then the monsoon also turned off the lights in the room. Turn off the lights. Let the room fall into darkness. The monsoon has just pulled back a small part of the curtain. Looking out the window, the nights of Modu are always filled with vibrant neon lights, like a city that never sleeps. Looking back again, the monsoon suddenly discovered the warm sleeping state scenes a bit strange. She stretched out her arms and legs, leaning properly against the bedside, cleared the entire bed. The monsoon was a bit confused. I don't quite understand. Why does Wen Nguyen sleep like this? This is saving a spot for her. She just stopped talking. Do you sleep on the sofa by yourself? And even if we save a spot to sleep together, there's no need to be so excessive. Why are you sleeping like this? No, it's nothing. Used to it. But used to it. What kind of habit is this? Wen Nguyen suddenly fell silent. Silence until the monsoon thought she already asleep. She suddenly spoke up. I have always slept like this, looking at the straight girl in the darkness. The monsoon suddenly aligned. She thought of the warm home. I remembered that old, dilapidated little house in the urban village. I remembered that picture which was clearly of just one person. But they need to lie down on a small bed for two. Warm mother sleeps inside. Warmth sleeps outside. There simply isn't enough space, especially warmth during puberty development. After growing taller, her seat will become increasingly crowded. Sleeping posture will become more fixed. She can no longer be like other girls. Recklessness on the bed. Lazy. Cannot sleep. Curling up casually. Not even able to stay in bed. She is more at peace when she sleeps. It needs to be done properly. She wouldn't sleep like this in the dorm, right? Ay, damn it. Jaifeng suddenly felt an urge to slap himself. Wen Nguyen is a person who lacks a sense of security. The autistic girl for many years. It's all about resolving emotions on one's own, even if it's her mother. It also gave her a sense of urgency and crisis. For warmth oneself. It is a very special existence, isn't it? Silly girl. Of course, you have to sleep in the middle of the bed. What will you do if you fall down? Facing this problem, Wen Nguyen fell silent again. Sudden onset of inferiority. Like the tide. Drown it. Feeling lost and the sadness of the past. Like a vortex. Those depressive emotions, like tentacles in the abyss, dragged her to the bottom of the water, cover her mouth, making her unable to make a sound again. Silly. Am I being disliked? Maybe. My thoughts are already filled with negativity, swallowing all emotions, gradually eroding her body, until the darkness merges into the night. Suddenly, the warm body suddenly tensed. She seems to sense it. In the darkness, someone reached out a hand to her. Then her palm was held by someone. It is the Minsu. It is also the light that pulls her out of the abyss. The palm of the Minsoon. Perhaps she can't remember clearly every line on the palm, but as long as you hold it, can confirm immediately. Not thick but roomy, not soft yet gentle. And after touching everything within reach, the power of just right, that is a feeling unique to the Minsoon, while the warmth is shallow and rare. Hold tightly to the fingertips. She quietly pressed her fingers down harder, afraid that she might escape. As she tightly held onto Jaifin's hand, the originally tense body, at this moment, relax. The feeling of the Minsoon, so nice. At the moment she waved her warm palm, she could even feel it. The warmth of the raised tendons. The body became completely stiff, held for quite a while. The Minsoon has just begun to be felt. The warm body gradually relaxed. She is really nervous. It's so cramped. She suddenly realized. I know very little about the warm past, besides what she herself mentioned. In the past decade or so, what exactly did she go through? Don't rush. She has enough time to heal. Minsoon raises its hand, waved the warm palm, fell asleep. When Nguyen thought the Minsoon was leaving again, suddenly I felt a bit sad, although we have been holding on for a while. But it's simply not enough. Just pretend you don't know what she's talking about. Let's be a little greedier for a while. No, there isn't. Why don't you lie down inside? Where should I sleep? Ah, we can't just keep standing here, can we? 2 sentences. Let warmth be the intelligence. There was a moment when it turned negative. Already operating under high load, the CPU suddenly fluctuated for a moment. Her mouth slightly opened. When I came back to my senses, several seconds have passed again. It's all right. The Minsoon is still waiting. Oh, okay. I'll sleep a little inside. A warm voice, tense, anxious and uneasy, with strong anticipation again. This is why she stayed. This is what she has been longing for. Her little scheme is complete. Her wish to the god of wealth, achieved again. The god of wealth is really effective, isn't he? Tomorrow, offer her a few more incense sticks. When Nguyen awkwardly wriggled in bed a few times, slowly moved to the center of the bed. Her back was drenched in sweat, nervous yet excited. After the warmth, moved to the center. The Minsoon then lay down naturally. Her past life was also very disciplined. Sleeping positions and such, very proper as well. But rules are rules. In a state as straight and upright as warmth, it's still somewhat different. Lying on the edge of the bed, the Minsoon still holds tightly to the warmth. The warm state hasn't changed. Just sleeping properly by the bedside. He lay squarely in the middle. I felt my already sweaty palms. The Minsoon gently stirs the warm hair scattered across the forehead. It's too late. Go to sleep. Gentle movements. Let the warm toes curl together. In the deep of night, silence envelops. She could hear the subtle and steady breath of the Minsoon. She lies peacefully and gently beside herself, like a dream. The Minsoon did not correct the warm sleeping posture. They would never scold or mock. At this moment, she doesn't need to do anything extra. As long as I quietly hold onto the warm palm, make her feel his warmth, just let her feel secure. The night seems endless. Neither of them spoke. I don't know how long it has been. Gradually, the warm fingers of the Minsoon no longer sweat. Breathing no longer feels so constricted and tense. The rhythm is steady. It should have entered that normal state of sleeping fluctuations. The Minsoon slowly opens its eyes at this time. appreciating in the darkness. That profile was like a work of art. She couldn't fall asleep. It's not because I'm not tired, but this position right now is really uncomfortable. But she also knows. A slight disturbance is felt, warm and tense emotions. It will immediately tense up, repeating endlessly. She can't sleep. That's why I haven't moved at all. Warmth falls asleep. The monsoon adjusted its posture. This is when I start to truly appreciate the beauty in her dreams. The number of times she blinked gradually began to increase, until falling into a dream. The undisturbed night is very quiet. Only the faint sound of breathing was in the room, with the chirping of insects outside the window. Under the permeation of moonlight, the person on the bed gently closed their eyes. However, as time flows on, the sky is gradually turning white. The night slowly fades away. The sunlight breaks in through the window, quietly spread in the bedroom, like an invisible hand gently brushing by, gradually awakened this slumbering world. At this moment, the bedroom, with the sunlight casting shadows on the curtains. Everything gradually becomes bright. The person in the middle of the bed slightly opened their eyes. Unconsciously, I clenched my fist, but the touch at the fingertips. He quickly stopped his actions. He is still here. Didn't leave. When Nguyen suddenly felt very happy. Besides the stiffness caused by sleeping in a rigid position, everything is very comfortable. Gently turned my head. The monsoon still lies on its side. He silently clenched his hands. It should have been held for a whole night. They haven't changed their position. Sleep like this all the time. It must be really tiring. Looking at Jaifin quietly beside his straight face. The warm heartbeat suddenly began to quicken. He wants to get a little closer. Come a little closer. Will it wake up the monsoon? If you wake up, it's time to get up. In warm thoughts, there's not much content about sleeping in. Is past and present. There is no concept of sleeping in. He never had the chance to sleep in before. I no longer have the habit of sleeping in. So in his view, when you wake up, you need to get out of bed. Yet the yearning in my heart quickly drowned out reason. He just wants to get a little closer. The body quietly moved closer to Jaifin. This was him last night. Things I absolutely dare not do. Little by little getting closer. Let the warm heartbeat quicken even more, until it was close enough, when Nguyen slightly tilted her head, gently leaned my head against the night of the monsoon, and the position near the chest, gently sniffed the scent of the monsoon. The cheeks of the introverted girl. It has turned completely red. This feeling is truly wonderful. If you drank last night and dreamed, let him get drunk a little longer. In the warm, unseen angle, the monsoon quietly opened its eyes. His biology is also very accurate. It's always very accurate. This has already become his long-standing habit. So, as the warmth moved towards him, he has already woken up. He just couldn't bear to interrupt. The autistic girl awkwardly approached. A warm face is quite thin-skinned. The courage value is pitifully low. Right now, it must be because he likes her, and the act of gathering courage should not be interrupted. Moreover, he himself likes it very much. Feeling the warmth of the head resting in my arms. The monsoon's mood is also a bit turbulent. The emotions that emerge. Let him reach out his hand too, gently caressing the warm hair and head. It's like gently touching a small child. Warmth is inherently shy. The gentle touch of the monsoon make his body stiffen again. The monsoon didn't make a sound. He slightly adjusted his position. His left hand embraced his head. Let warmth rest upon your heart. His fingers slowly relaxed from his hand, gently held the warm, delicate waist. It's all very natural behavior. After finishing, the monsoon closed its eyes again. Yesterday was a busy day, very tired, and sleeps very late. Biology woke him up. It doesn't mean he has had enough sleep. He wants to sleep a little longer, sleep while embracing warmth. Compared to the nature of the monsoon, warmth has completely frozen. First, the series of actions taken by Jifen. It left him in a daze. Is the monsoon awake? The monsoon hasn't gotten up. The monsoon suddenly let go of its grip, but he held onto his waist. Warmth that one doesn't even know. The left hand that was released. Where should it be placed now? Stiff in midair for a moment. In the end, it all fell on the chest of the monsoon. He likes this feeling. Like to stick to the monsoon. I like to gently smell the scent of the monsoon. And the monsoon felt behind the not-so-honest nose tip of a girl with autism. He also lowered his nose a bit, let it stick to his hair, clearly took a few sniffs. After feeling the girl's stiff reaction in his arms, he chuckles softly. Don't move. Sleep a little longer. The girl in his arms instantly became much more obedient. After a while, a soft sound escaped from his nose. Heard the girl's response. The gaze of the monsoon gradually becomes distant. A person who feels secure. It's never just warmth. Actually, Jifen is also someone who lacks a sense of security. Just in the past. He is strong enough and calm. He doesn't need others to provide him with a sense of security. But the emotional needs, he has never been satisfied. Once satisfied, it easily captivates people. Just like now. Jifen felt a bit drunk. That's why I'm so tired. Then I want to fall asleep. This time, the monsoon enters the dreamland earlier than warmth. The warmth in my arms felt that sense of stability. He realized the monsoon may have fallen asleep, feeling the one you love holding you while you sleep. A warm heart is also filled with joy. His body relaxed again. I want to savor every bit of this beauty. Until now, he was a bit reluctant to fall asleep, just leaning in the embrace of the monsoon. Too safe and comfortable. Wendoen also gradually relaxed. Re-entered the dreamland. The second nap at 6 o'clock. I slept until after 10 in the morning. Between the bed and the couch. Warmth in the embrace of the monsoon. 9 Nan. Oh dear. The monsoon is completely inaudible. What is he talking about? Dream talk. It doesn't seem like a TV drama, or as clear as in the movies. I can only feel half awake and half asleep. When Nguyen started rubbing against herself once again. A smile lingered on his cheeks. The feet intertwined involuntarily. Toes curled up. Then it gradually relaxed again. The unprecedented hand kept touching Jifen's body. These are all in a state between dreaming and waking. Unconscious actions, but suddenly the movement of the palm quickened slightly. The body in my arms gradually became stiff. Finally, the hand hung motionless in mid-air, not moving anymore. The monsoon knows. This is when the warmth awakens. This reaction. It almost made him laugh out loud. Gently hold that suspended palm. Gently let it down. The monsoon gently brushed through the warm hair again, whispering softly in his ear, acting cute and dependency. It is a passive skill that all women are born with. When a girl receives enough security and affection, it will automatically trigger. Don't be nervous. You are very normal. The warm face has turned red like water. She didn't respond to Jifen's words, but silently pushed open the chest of the monsoon, turned away. Do not let the monsoon see her face. Then he quietly took a few deep breaths, adjusting one's emotions. I need to get up. It's still a beautiful night. A more beautiful morning. Minsoon knows. Warmth needs some time and space to digest these. I also need to change clothes. She chose not to stay and observe.